Today I'm going to go over the 2018 Kawasaki Vulcan VN1700. I'm going to do an air filter clean out and change, show you how to get the air filter off, the tools you need, and let's get started. All the tools you should need for this are a 4mm Allen wrench of some sort. I prefer a socket extension and a screwdriver. Makes it easier to take this off. They're all straight screws, nothing hard to get out. The bolts you'll be taking out, you've got 4 bolts. This is on the left side of the motorcycle. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts you remove. We're going to pop those out, change the air filter out, and you'll be all set. I decided to go with the K&N high flow air filter for the Vulcan VN1700. This model is a KA-1709. I already changed this out a few months ago. Just want to open it up, take a look, see what it looks like on the inside, clean out any excess oil, make sure it's not dirty. As far as performance goes, I might have actually lost a mile or 2 per gallon with this, but it does seem to run a little bit smoother. I've always liked K&N filters. I've always had really good response out of them, and most of them I've got better gas mileage. This one's probably the first exception where I've got better gas mileage out of it. Just in case, I always carry a little wrench with me, 1/4" wrench if I'm going to do this. Sometimes the bolts are a little bit tighter, sometimes they get stuck a little bit, and I'm using a longer extension than I normally would, just so you can actually see better on the video what I'm doing. So I'm going to take these 4 screws out right here. They should just be tight as you can get them with your hand. There's probably a torque setting on there somewhere. You get them too loose, of course you're going to rattle off and fall on the ground, but you over tight them, you're going to end up breaking something. So I usually just get them good and hand tight. So we're going to take these 4 out. There are 2 different screws. One is longer than the other. The longer screw goes on the bottom and the shorter screw goes in the top. Normally got a bolt sorting tray also. Since I'm only taking out 4 bolts though, don't think it's real necessary. I'm just going to lay them on the foot peg, and if I lose them from there, then I probably shouldn't be working on motorcycles ever again. And as you can see, once you get to the last one, it starts to come loose on you, so you've got to kind of use 2 hands here. If you don't, of course it's going to drop straight to the ground and probably end up scratching the crap out of it, which is not what you want. If you feel better about taking the bottom bolts out last, you can. Top bolts out last, you can. Whatever you want to do, it makes it work for you. And then this simply just falls out. Once this falls out, as you can see on the inside, I've got a little bit of oil on the inside. I'm just going to clean all that out. The air filter just comes out from underneath this little rubber piece. Pull the air horn back a little bit, the air filter drops out of there. My air filter still looks really clean, so I'm going to wipe out all the oil, reverse the process, put it all back together, clean it up. So reversing the process here, basically I've rehooked the air filter underneath the air horn. It just kind of hangs in there. The factory one fits in there a little bit better. K&N, again, you're going aftermarket, sometimes you've got to modify a little bit. Cleaned all the oil out of the inside. This simply just slides back over the top. I prefer to start the bottom bolts first, just because that's where the air filter is. Holds the air filter in place better. Try to get a turn or 2 personally by hand, that way I know for a fact I'm threaded in there. You start jamming stuff in there, it's threaded in there. A lot of times you cross thread stuff. So once I get those 2 in there, I just snug them up to the point with my little screwdriver here to where it doesn't fall out on the ground. You don't want to tighten them all at the same time or at once, because you'll end up bowing something or flexing something out of place. So I usually just snug them up, get all 4 of them started, Then I go crisscross pattern back and forth just to make sure it's tightened down evenly. Also, if you tighten up one screw and not the other ones before you get them started, sometimes you'll create a gap in the chrome, and again, it'll make it easier for you to cross through the bolt. If you got a tap and die set and you're good at tap and die, it's probably not that big of a deal, but if you don't, it's a pain in the butt. And the last thing you want to do is have to go get something tapped out because you were changing your air filter. And again, these, I just take the screwdriver and I tighten it pretty tight by hand, but I don't want to over tighten them. In about a week, I'll go back, check the bolts just to make sure everything's still tight. Don't want to thread lock them because this is a part that you're going to take back off eventually, or your local shop will take it off. If you do want to use the thread lock on it, do not use the permanent thread lock. I believe you can get a green, you can get a blue, you can get a red, you can get all colors. Just make sure the one you get is not the permanent, because you'll end up breaking something or you'll just create a problem trying to get it off there. Air filter's in, everything looks good. Thanks for watching.